Lions and Firefighters 4th of July Parade here on CTN. We're coming to today from the Northdale Boulevard, the site of this year's parade and the site of many of the past parades as well. I'm Steve Erickson along with Stephanie Ring here, and we'll be bringing you all the action here today at the Coon Rapids 4th of July Parade. And Stephanie, it is a beautiful day out. It's about 84 degrees right now, and the humidity is low, which is good, and I don't think you could ask for better weather for a parade like this.
It is very nice, and people came out really early to get a great spot. They set up their chairs before the parade even begins. 4 o'clock, people were out, and it's really nice to see so many people and so much support for the city parade. It's really wonderful.
It really is.
Independence Day, as you know, is a national holiday celebrating the independence of our country. It commemorates the signing of the Declaration of Independence, which was signed by the Continental Congress on July 4th, 1776 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
The first Independence Day celebration took place the following year, July 4th, 1777 rather. By the early 1800s, the traditions of parades, picnics, and fireworks were established as a way to celebrate America's birthday. And also interesting to note, the 4th of July celebration was not declared a legal holiday until 1941. Bet you didn't know you were going to get a history lesson here today.
I didn't. I'm getting a brush up on everything. And here in Coon Rapids, they've been celebrating the 4th for over 20 years. And actually, the roots of the citywide festival go back even further. Karen Savanich, our street reporter, tells us more. Karen?
Thanks, Steve and Stephanie. Actually, this does go back to 1953, this celebration. Coon Rapids was a village back then with a newly formed fire department who needed to raise money to buy equipment. So they came up with the idea of a festival. They had a few rides, a few games. Wasn't long after that, the Lions Club got involved. And then in 1976, the city council made it official. It was the bicentennial year. They wanted to have a citywide celebration, so they all combined forces, and now we have the celebration on the 4th of July weekend. And then in 1994, the Lions Club had the idea of starting a parade. It's been 7 years in the making, and each year it gets bigger and better. This year we are expecting nearly 100 entries in the parade, so it's going to be a great time. Back up to you guys.
All right, thanks, Karen. And Karen will be in the middle of the action out on the parade route to bring us interviews during the parade. We're going to take a short break right now.
And we'll be right back to bring you more coverage of the 7th annual 4th of July parade.
We must all be more diligent about not wasting energy. By George, I think I've got it.
It's elementary. We face an awful waste of energy. To find a remedy, it's up to you, it's up to me.
We all agree it's true. The world has got a major job to do. If we might just review, it's up to me, it's up to you.
Please don't waste energy.
It was called the greatest generation any society has ever produced. They were ordinary people who half a century ago did nothing less than help save the world. Millions served in uniform, millions more served at home, and nearly 500,000 gave their lives. And yet there is no national memorial to honor their sacrifice. It is time to say thank you.
Call now and help build the National World War II Memorial.
Welcome back to the 7th annual Coon Rapids 4th of July Parade here in Coon Rapids. As you can see, people are lining the streets, and they were here bright and early to get a good spot for this parade. Lots of units coming up in this parade today, and of course this is in conjunction with a big old celebration down at Sand Creek Park in Coon Rapids. So a lot of people will be down there, all sorts of midway rides, games, food, concerts, and all sorts of stuff.
And of course the fireworks on Tuesday night, they'll begin at 10 o'clock, so don't miss that.
Don't want to miss that. All right. And of course, Independence Day here, the men and women who sacrificed their lives for our independence. Of course, that is the Coon Rapids American Legion Color Guard. Their director is Al Michaels. That is post 334. Coming up next, it's the Coon Rapids American Auxiliary. They are marching with the Legion Color Guard. They have 18 years as a color guard, leading many community parades and participating in district and state American Legion parades.
Here we have Mrs. Minnesota International for 2000, Susan Nelson. Her husband is Terry, and her children Tommy and Jessica. The pageant recognizes married women for their commitment to marriage, family, and the community. She actually came here from Slayton, Minnesota today, and her platform for which she speaks is involved with building assets and young children.
And she's got a lot of young children right in that convertible there.
She sure does.
This is an interesting parade route because, as you can tell, the sun is directly in the faces of everyone marching down this route. So, kind of hot out, and that sun will obviously be a factor. Coming up next is the Coon Rapids High School Marching Cardinal Band. Their director is Scott Vogel. The Marching Cardinals, it's a co-curricular activity that is offered from a comprehensive music program that includes 4 concert bands, 2 jazz ensembles, a pep band, and summer and fall marching bands for students in grades 9 through 12. Let's take a listen to the Coon Rapids Marching Cardinals. Spanish opener, a Scorpion. There are 105 members of the Marching Cardinals unit. We're going to head down now to Karen, who's standing by with the mayor and Miss Coon Rapids. Karen?
Thanks, you guys. I don't exactly get to ride in the cool car, but I get to walk alongside of it. Doesn't this look cool? Hi, Stacy. Congratulations. Stacy, of course, is our Miss Coon Rapids. How are you?
Very good, thanks.
Enjoying the parade?
I am. It's wonderful turnout this year.
Yes, it is. I wanted to ask Lonnie, who's riding with you today. These are her grandchildren, right? Lonnie, can you lean over and tell us who's in your car?
This is Bridget and Megan Shermers. These are my granddaughters.
All right. It's a family affair. Thank you, ladies. Enjoy the parade, and I'm sure we'll see you at Sand Creek this weekend then, right? Very good. Thank you. Beautiful car, beautiful outfits. Look at this. Back up to you guys.
All right, thanks, Karen. And Stacy McBride, of course, just competed in the Miss Minnesota competition, and she placed as second runner-up. So congratulations to her.
That is great.
And of course, that pageant couldn't be done with a lot of volunteers that help in that. And if anyone is interested in helping with the committee that helps Miss Coon Rapids, you can call Kristen at 763-755-5656. Of course, Miss Coon Rapids does make lots of appearances throughout the year and has a big presence in the schools in the community. I know she really enjoys doing that.
Here we have some of the city council members. They're passing out candy for all the kids, of course, a highlight in any parade.
I can't tell, but it looks like it may be Ron Gageby and Jerry Newton. Actually, I see Dave Saunders as well. It is Dave Saunders on the right side of your screen there in the back, who is council member Ward 4, and next to him it's Ron Gageby, who is the council member at large in the left side of that convertible. Of course, the tradition of throwing candy out is a popular one here.
Probably the favorite of all the kids.
Probably is.
How much can you get in one parade?
Coming up next, it's the Coon Rapids Fire Department entourage. All sorts of yellow in your screen there. That is one of the support vehicles used by the fire departments. Pretty noisy individuals. We have one of the rescue trucks there. Of course, the Coon Rapids Fire Department is a full-time fire department and responds to fires along with different emergencies. They are EMT trained, so they respond with ambulances on medical emergencies as well. Of course, my bet that that is family riding inside those trucks, family of the firefighters in the community. We're going to head back down to Karen now, who's standing by with the Lions Club president, I believe. Karen?
Want to talk to him?
Hey, you can keep driving. That's okay. He's stopped for us. Isn't that nice? Terry, you're the president of the Lions Club. Are you happy with this year's parade and festival so far?
Happy, very happy. There's lots of people, more than I anticipated. Believe me, it's super weather, and it's lined up this way all the way around, so very nice.
That's right. We are towards the end of the parade route, but you've seen good crowds all the way through then.
All the way through from the start, yep.
I saw in my program there was something about Terry Hedberg's cars. Are these all your cars?
No, I have 2 cars of my own. All these cars behind us are friends of mine that are coming to the car show tomorrow, and that starts at 3 o'clock, by the way.
Okay, very good. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of the parade.
Thank you.
Have a great weekend. Back up to you guys.
All right, thanks, Karen. And Terry Hedberg is the incoming president for 2000 and 2001. The outgoing president is Lion Bill Earhart. And if many of you don't know who the Lions are in this community, you've been in hiding, because you hear about them all the time, all the good they do for the community, all the donations that they give to the city, the fire department, the youth activities in this community, and of course that's proceeds from charitable gambling at different sites in the city.
Lots of support. It's great to have them. And those cars, did you notice those cars? They are just shine to perfection, and the sun is just beaming off of them. It takes a lot of work to keep those up, too.
They really are, and of course that is a car show that is held. This is the second time they'll be doing that this year down, and they had about 32 cars last time, which was their first time last year, and they said they had a really good turnout and are expecting more this year. This is the Coon Rapids Lioness Float. A very colorful float, decked out in red, white, and blue.
Here comes another one of the cars that will be featured at the car show tomorrow. Look at that paint job. Takes a lot of work to keep those up. Only bring them out for special occasions, and of course, never drive them in the winter.
No, that wouldn't be a good idea here in Minnesota.
No.
All that salt and sand cause a lot of harm to your vehicle.
Here we have the last car featured in the parade tonight. But of course, you can check all those out again tomorrow at 3 o'clock. I believe we have the VFW coming up here. The Coon Rapids VFW, the commander is Charles Hawkins. President of the auxiliary is Lola Helseth.
Of course, the Coon Rapids VFW is involved in many community service projects with Coon Rapids youth participation, essays, soccer, hockey, Little League baseball, scouts, and the Teen Center, and they do a lot more. Some of their other community service work for veterans, city hockey, pavilion, aid for needy families, and firearm safety classes, scholarships, and also do work with Special Olympics. So another organization in this community that does a lot of work for its people. Coming up next, it's the Anoka County Sheriff's Office. They have 2 Anoka County Sheriff vehicles, a boat, and a trailer, and a dare line, as you can see right there, waving. Anoka County Sheriff's Office, under the direction of Sheriff Larry Padani, is appearing in the parade. Sheriff Padani is in his 2nd term of office as Sheriff of Anoka County. The parades are staffed by Sheriff's Office reserves and employees, and everyone here is volunteering their time to represent the department. The Sheriff's Office uses the boats and ATVs to patrol the lakes, rivers, and trails around the county. They also have a dive team available 24 hours a day to help with search and rescue operations and a bike patrol for parks.
Now we have the Coon Rapids Royalty for the City of Coon Rapids. The Junior Royalty Float is sponsored by the Royalty Committee and the City of Coon Rapids. You can see the red and white. Those are symbolic of the community spirit of Coon Rapids in conjunction with Snowflake Days.
And right there, that is the committee that helps with Miss Coon Rapids Scholarship. That was the number we gave you earlier if you wanted to help out. And that would be the the Coon Rapids Float.
Here we have the Anoka County Civil Air Patrol. It's an organization with 3 objectives: youth activities, aerospace education, and search and rescue.
We're going to head down to Karen now as you're looking at the Minneapolis Aquatennial car there.
And Stephanie, we are, probably 12 deep down here on the street, and these young people wanted to get on TV, and I told them that we had a trick question for them. Okay, everybody, what's your favorite station?
Channel 15!
I guess we know what their favorite station is. Back up to you guys.
All right, thanks, Karen. Just wondering how much you paid them to say that.
Just a little bit of
Maybe
candy.
they offered a little more candy, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
that's all it takes.
That is the Minneapolis Aquatennial, as we saw earlier, leaving your screen. Coming up next, it's the Aqua Jesters. If I'm not mistaken, that is the same group with the Minneapolis Aquatennial. Looks like there's some clowning around going on.
Listen, Mom. This is Minnesota boil.
Obviously, they don't realize that it's summer out.
Just trust me.
Gotta be warm in
Love
that
you, Mom.
outfit.
Hold on, gotta watch Friday tonight.
This is actually Patches the Clown.
Anytime. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas.
Patches has been a 25-year member of the Clowns of America.
You guys can be noisy?
Oh, you guys, this is a parade. You're supposed to be happy. Guys, let's see a one-handed wave. Come on. Okay, now on this side. We're going to do the two-handed wave. It's twice as hard as the one-handed wave. Now, you guys look like you're flying or something, flapping your wings. Come on, wave, be happy. It's the Aquadusters. Wave, be happy. Uh-oh, she's grumpy. Come on, wave. Okay, that's better. You guys happy? Wave. Wow.
And don't forget, you can watch CR News here right here on CTN. Premieres Friday night at 7 p.m. A new program each week, 15 minutes packed with news and information from Coon Rapids and the surrounding community, stuff that you need to know, that you want to know, lots of stuff. So be sure to tune in Friday night at 7 p.m. for a new show.
I think this is the final car to wrap up the Aquadusters here.
I wonder what he has in that package.
Well, I was just going to say he's tormenting the crowd. There's something in there.
Oh, I see. It's an alligator.
Oh.
Kind of a big box for an alligator, I guess.
It is. It's a very long and skinny alligator.
Apparently. Till it eats one of the members of the crowd out here.
We won't put that on TV.
He'll be long gone down in Sand Creek. Coming up next, we have the Gross Line beverage truck. Gross Line, of course, has been around since 1916. A.E. Gross Line Sr. started a small distributing business in Fridley, Minnesota. He distributed soft drinks and near beer. The country was dry at that time. It was during Prohibition. Beer came back in April of 1933. It was a 1919 refurbished Model T.
We are on Northdale Boulevard for the 7th Annual 4th of July Parade. As you can see, there are just tons of people out here watching the parade and showing their community support. It's wonderful. It is a beautiful evening for a parade.
And I think we can thank the weather for all these people out here. This is probably the most people I've seen along this parade route in the 7 years we've been doing this. People have come out here. It's 84 out right now, but the humidity is very low out here, so it makes it comfortable to sit out and enjoy a beautiful summer night while taking in some of this entertainment here.
We have the Vulcans coming up here. Here's
Check
Karen.
it out. This is, introduce yourself for me. How about that?
Okay, I'm Volcanus Rex, the 63rd, the King of Fire from the St. Paul Winter Carnival.
And he told me he's going to be in a number of parades this year, and of course this would be their trademark. So thank you so much. Enjoy the festival.
Oh, we certainly will.
All right. Thanks again. Back up to
Thanks, Karen. I remember when I was young and the Vulcans would be at every parade and they would just come up and snatch you and get all that wonderful black grease all over you. Gotta love it.
I've been fairly fortunate. I've never been kissed by a Vulcan, and I don't really care to be.
Maybe we should ask one to come up here, Steve.
Oh, we're sitting plenty high. I think they're far out of our reach.
There's another Vulcan in the crowd, placing their mark. It's cool to have a sign of the Vulcans.
It really must be.
It is cool.
Yeah.
Here comes the Coon Rapids High School dance team. The Coon Rapids varsity dance team includes 25 members. The Cardettes are a performance team in the fall, and they're a competition team in the winter. They have won several awards. They're coached by Julie Morris, assistant Jody Morris, and captains are Dana Smith and Shannon Holton.
Great job by the Rapids Cardinal dance team. Of course, they play at various sporting events and other organized school activities throughout the year. Coming up next, we have the Animal Inn drill team. The Animal Inn drill team is a dog obedience demonstration unit made up of volunteers of all ages, walks of life, and their dogs. All the dogs are owner-handled and owner-trained at the Animal Inn training centers located in Lake Elmo, Egan, and Golden Valley. The team includes many different breeds of dogs as well as Great American mixed breed dogs. The team has been performing in parades since 1977. In addition to their many parades each year, the team participates in many obedience demonstrations and public service events such as the University of Minnesota Veterinary Medicine Open House, the Scout Fair, and the Minnesota Great Get-Together, the State Fair.
And it really takes a lot of work to get those dogs to do what you want them to do on command. I can attest to that. My dog hasn't quite reached that level of training yet.
I was going to say, you know firsthand.
I
you have
wish,
a dog yet.
I wish he could be in this group and act so good.
It's amazing what you can get the dogs to do if you practice with them. And I suppose if you have a good dog.
Yes.
Not all dogs are trainable.
They have to want to learn, and you have to spend a lot of time with them. But once you do, it really pays off. And as you can see, all of these owners have obviously spent a lot of time working with their animals.
So are we going to see you down in the parade someday with your dog?
Hey, you never know. But I'd almost be afraid. He'd be chasing after all the kids.
He'd be out in the crowd, yeah. Coming up next, it's the Northeast Minneapolis Royalty Float. The float is a city on wheels, which replicates the buildings and landmarks of Northeast Minneapolis. The float was built by volunteers spending thousands of hours building, painting, and finishing the float with extreme detail. The flowers and park benches invite you to the parks and gardens of the Northeast area. As you move along the float, you'll note the Grain Belt Brewery historical site that rests atop the gazebo. The landmark towers over the ethnic diverse Northeast Minneapolis. Of course, I heard something today that Northeast Minneapolis is really booming. A lot of people moving out to that area.
It is. It's very much a growing area, especially for young couples starting out that want to get their first home. I think Karen is ready to talk to some Girl Scouts here from the Mississippi Service Unit. Karen?
You know, I love this job. It's so fun. Cindy Neeson is with the Girl Scouts, and part of her troop today wanted to sing a song for us. Who's going to sing? Come on over. Okay, one verse. Right here.
The Ranger. I'm glad I am a Girl Scout. There's nothing I'd rather be. Or if I weren't a Girl Scout, a park ranger I would be. And as you pass me by, you'd always hear me cry. The alert is flying through the park, splat. Heart alert is flying through the park, splat.
All right. I love it. Thank you, Cindy. 10 more verses to that song. Back up to you guys.
Thanks, Karen.
Pretty good.
That was cute, especially the ending, splat.
Yeah, just kind of ends just like that.
Very good. They can be singers one day.
I think people are still having a lot of fun out here, and of course, at times there are a few lulls in the parade as things get behind and people move forward and walk faster than the people behind them. But it has been a good time so far, and people are really enjoying themselves out here today.
Coming up on Conversations, we have 3 great guests. One is Kyle Davis, who's a 9-year-old chess champion from Coon Rapids. We also have Sally Esme. She is a fabulous fiddle player. She performs all around the city for senior citizens and for various groups, and she also works with her husband, Don. And we also have Andrea Manka. She's a graduate of year 2000. She went to Coon Rapids High School. She's also going to attend Notre Dame, and she has won several scholarships. Actually, she's achieved those scholarships, which is wonderful that she can go to Notre Dame with that. So be sure to tune into that show. It'll be a great one.
Of course, that's all this month here on CTN. In July, you can watch that 4 times a day. Shouldn't be an excuse that you missed that program. 3 interesting people there each night. Of course, this is all part of a big 4th of July celebration here in Coon Rapids, which is held each and every year. The Coon Rapids Firefighters and the Coon Rapids Lions Club are the big contributors to this thing. I know they donate lots of money each year to make the whole ordeal a success, and of course, donate money for the big fireworks display, which of course will happen on the 4th of July at 10 p.m. And that is a big deal. If you have not been down here for 4th of July fireworks, you should come down, because each year a lot of people are out here in the park, and I know, okay, it's good to see them and stuff and all that. Just don't think of what's going to happen afterwards when you leave the park and you have to be in traffic for 2 hours. It's really good while it lasts, so lots of fireworks, and people really do seem to have a good time. And of course, before the fireworks, there's a lot to do down there.
Of course, there are a lot of activities this weekend. There's concerts, there's of course the carnival, all kinds of games for the kids, and then of course the big finale, the fireworks, which are fabulous. A lot of people put a lot of work and effort, and of course the donations that you mentioned. Maybe you just have to strategically park in just the right spot so you can get out when all the traffic is hitting at the same time.
Or just walk, one of the two. I just wonder what the turnout will be this year, seeing that the 4th falls on a Tuesday. Several people might be staying home because they have to work on Monday, so we'll have to wait and see what the turnout is on that. But back to the parade, more action going on down on the street. We have the the Champlain Park Marching Rebels coming up here. Of course, this is a national award-winning group. They've won several awards, and they do a good job. Let's take a listen. That was the Champlain Park Marching Rebels you just heard. By the way, they just took second place at a contest in Alexandria, Minnesota. Missed first place by 1 point.
That is fabulous. You can tell their hard work has definitely paid off to win second place in that competition. Karen is going to be talking with Patches the Clown here in just a second.
What do you think?
Hey, you know why? I want to know one thing. Why did the chicken run halfway across the street, stop, turn around, and go back?
Why?
She wanted to lay it on the line, lady.
And tell me the other one. Why cannibals don't eat clowns?
Why do cannibals, they refuse to eat clowns?
Why?
Because we taste funny.
You look pretty funny, too.
In fact, I feel funny all over.
Oh, you better catch up with the rest of your group.
Thank you.
And thank you.
Have a great night.
Enjoy the rest of the
Thank you,
parade.
sir.
Having a good time out here. Back up to you guys.
Apparently so. It sounds like Patches is having a great time. We'll just let him get on his way on his bike there and tool on down Northdale Boulevard. Far away from us.
Look at those wheels, Steve.
Looks like he could use maybe a front end and a rear end alignment.
I think so. Maybe even a little more than that. Coming up behind Patches, we have Barb Winfield, who is a Senate candidate. There goes Patches.
Bye.
The people for Winfield are sponsoring this next unit that you're seeing right here. She is the endorsed candidate for the Minnesota Senate in Anoka and Coon Rapids. Barb has been working in education with the last 21 years as being a principal at Hoover Elementary in Coon Rapids, and she's now at Wilson Elementary in Anoka.
Of course, it is a big election year.
Of course.
2000, a presidential election this year. Lots of state seats, as we'll see in this parade. A lot more politicians to come are up for re-election, as are county officials and local officials here in Coon Rapids. 5 out of the 7 seats on the city council are up for re-election this fall, so it'll be a big ballot when you head to the polls in November.
Definitely, and everybody should turn out for that.
Coming up next, it's the Sons of Norway. Persons riding the float are members of the Ben Kretzen Lodge 559 Anoka. Is that how you say that?
I think you're pretty close, Steve.
Lodge president is Janet Osmundson, will be on the float along with 4 to 5 other people. The youth, as you can see, they're dressed in Nordic costumes. And there is an accordionist along accompanying that unit.
Steve, look who this is. It's Elvis. You are an Elvis fan.
I am an Elvis fan. You're right. How did you know?
And he's riding in a very cool 57 Chevy, all decked out, 4th of July colors. Tennessee, #1 Elvis on those plates. Well, how come he's not singing, like on top of the car? Somebody else should be driving. He should be.
I'm not sure. Maybe it's not the real Elvis.
You think? I thought he came back.
I'm a little confused on that. I didn't get that history lesson today. Just take one thing at a time here. We got the history of the 4th of July celebration.
I know. Too much.
Coming up next, it's the Saints on Parade, the Greater Twin Cities St. Bernard Club, and I understand Karen Savanich is standing by with some of the members. Karen?
I am. This is Carolyn, and can you get a load of this dog? Can you shoot that? I love the headband. Isn't that awesome? Now tell me about your dog. How old?
12 months.
What's his name?
Bunny.
Is it a girl? Sorry, I didn't even look. How long have you been in the club? Do you enjoy it?
I'm not in the club. I'm just walking the dog around.
All right. Well, I had to pick out this dog because of the headband. That is so adorable. Back up to you guys.
That is great. Thanks, Karen. Coming up next, we have Anoka County Commissioners. Riding in a golf cart. That is County Commissioner Dan Earhart, who is throwing some candy out to the crowd. I'd hate to be the one that has to clean up the wrappers after the event like this.
It's probably what the street sweepers are for. They have that fun job of picking up all the debris. Gotta let the kids have a little fun, though.
You do. I mean, you do. Coming up next, it's Dave McCulley, County Commissioner, who, of course, is the husband of Mayor Lonnie McCulley of Coon Rapids. And also, previously sat on the City Council and was also Mayor of Coon Rapids himself. And right behind him, it's the Fridley 49ers. Fridley 49er days have passed. Those happen in mid-June. There was new royalty crowned in mid-June. Friendly Phillies celebrated its 50th anniversary in June. They're incorporated as a city in 1949. We're going to head down to Karen, who apparently has had a reunion with one of her Conversations guests. Karen?
I have, Steve. In fact, this is Kyle Davis, the 9-year-old chess player that we were talking about earlier. Did you have a good time being on Conversation?
Yeah.
Did you see your interview?
Yeah.
Did you like it?
It was awesome.
It was awesome. There you have it. Thank you so much. And his friend Zach wanted to say hi, too. You want to say hi?
Yeah. Hi.
All right, there you have it. Back up to you guys.
And Karen, he does talk a little bit more than that in the Conversation interview? I take it that was a yes.
I think so.
Of course, you can catch Conversations throughout July with Kyle on there, and he is a really good chess player.
That's awesome. And here we have the Boy Scout. We have pack 317, 415, and 416. And look at that flag that they are carrying.
There's some candy in the center.
There is.
What do you think? You need to bring a long pole up here with a little scoop on the end?
I think we could get some. Or maybe they'll just wave the flag at the end and they'll let it all fly up and let all the kids just come and grab it.
We'll think about that next year.
Yeah.
Coming up next, we have some bikers from Rabines Arena. Of course, they do all sorts of tricks and stunts on those bikes. That must take a lot of practice, just like dog training.
Yes, it would. I can't say that I could do that.
No. They can stand on their seat while going. Pretty amazing.
And of course, you can race year-round, actually, at the arena. It's indoor. They have a heated indoor track, and they have racing outdoor in the summer. So it's a pretty fun activity for kids.
And I believe Rabines is up in Lino Lakes, if I'm not mistaken. But of
The
course
crowd's liking that, too.
Yeah, of course, you can look that up in the phone book if you're interested in participating in some of those indoor track events. The one thing is they don't wear any protective gear. You know, I wonder if that's kind of dangerous driving down the streets like this.
I would think they'd almost have to in the beginning. I would think there'd be a lot of falling. Maybe they get a little bit better and they think they can just go without it
as
for
they get
a little
more
bit.
experience, I
Yeah.
guess.
They say that kids, even at age 3, will start trying these tricks and riding the bike and trying to get proficient at the different moves that they do. I'd be a little
Something-
scared if I was a parent.
Something to look forward to, yeah. Coming up next is the Dassel Red Rooster Days royalty. The celebration is held Labor Day, September 2nd through the 4th. Queen Abby Trittabog, Princesses Rachel Beckman and Valerie Moe. This is their 41st year. They've got that wave down pat there.
I would think you'd be tired at the end of the parade route.
Yeah, after all that waving.
To everybody. Here comes the float from the 934th Airlift Wing, the Air Force Reserve. Through 2 world wars, Korea, Vietnam, and the Cold War, and Desert Storm, the United States has preserved the peace and helped defend democracy through air superiority.
It's pretty neat on there, that globe and the plane flying around it.
It's a very nice float.
It's amazing all the work that goes into some of these units that we see in these parades.
A lot of volunteers spend a lot of time decorating, getting everything just perfect.
Coming up next, we have another politician. John Klein is running for Congress. He's a candidate for U.S. Congress from the 6th District of Minnesota. He and his supporters want to meet everyone and tell them about his stand on the issues. And apparently Rod Grams, who is the current U.S. Senator, is along here as well. is a lot of work running for an office like that.
Yes, you have to have a lot of people helping you, a lot of supporters, get out, meet with the people in the community.
It does take a lot. Coming up next, we have the West St. Paul royalty, who are riding in a convertible. It's the West St. Paul Queen, and there are 2 princesses as well. Of course, a lot of these units are in a lot of different parades around Minnesota. June, July, August here in the Minnesota area is busy with parades.
They definitely get a lot of miles on those vehicles. They're always shined up and ready to go. Almost every weekend, there is a parade for each respective community.
There really is. You must have to have a big time commitment to be involved in those types of royalty and other events.
But it's a lot of fun. I'm sure it doesn't seem like any too much work or effort, I should say. There's always some work and effort, but coming up here, we have the Forest Lake Junior High Marching Band. The Junior High Band is a combination of the 7th and 8th grade students from Southwest Junior High and Central Junior High in Forest Lake. Let's take a listen. Here we have the Woodbury Royalty. The festival that they have in Woodbury is August 25th through the 28th. Miss Woodbury is Karen Eckmark. Little Miss Woodbury is Rebecca Knight. And Princesses Alicia McCourt, Jessica Carlson, and Jessica Parker. They came a bit of a distance to come up here, didn't they, Steve?
They did, but of course, a lot of these people are in different parades, so they don't mind the drive, and I think they like to get out and meet all the people and are proud of who they represent, their various cities.
Mm-hmm.
Coming up next, we have a noisy fire truck. This is out of Ham Lake Fire Department Engine 2. Cost $200,000, delivered in 1999. Has a tank cap of 1,000 gallons, a pump flow of 1250 GPM. So that's pretty good. Gallons per minute, I believe that is.
That is very good.
It holds a crew of 6 firefighters, and it replaces a 1978 engine that had a tank cap of 750 and a pump flow of 750 gallons per minute. So obviously, they're upgrading to bigger and better, and you need that nowadays with all the growth in this area. And those engines are rather costly.
Yes, and then to manage the upkeep and imagine the gasoline to put in there, which is, of course, getting pretty expensive these days.
It really is. Fancy Dance and Dance Studio is coming up next, and Karen Savanich is standing by with someone from that organization. Karen?
I'm with Miss Bobby. Are you with me? Okay. I'm with Miss Bobby. Now, you are the leader of Fancy Dancing, right? And this is your 10th year?
Yep, 10th year dance, teaching.
Now, we've got a shot of your group here. How many are marching today?
There's around 100 girls and boys marching today. We also have boys.
And I know you've got some as little as 6 years old?
As little as 2.5. 2.5.
Well, you're doing a great job. Thank you so much.
you.
Keep up the good work. Back up to you guys.
All right, thanks, Karen. And some of those boys can move just as good as the girls.
Hey, yeah. And the dance studio is located in Northdale Shopping Center. They have tap, ballet, jazz, clogging, anything you want, you can go learn.
Really, and they've been around for about 10 years, so a big presence in the community. Well, as you can see, a lot of youngsters are involved in that. Coming up next, we have Senator Don Betzold, who has represented Southern Coon Rapids in Minnesota Senate since 1993. He also represents Fridley, Spring Lake Park, Southern Blaine, Osseo, Champlin, and Brooklyn Park. Getting out, shaking hands with the people on the sidelines, and of course, can't forget those stickers.
Gotta have the stickers. By the end of the parade, kids will have about 25 stickers all over them.
Coming up next, we have some royalty from Crystal. They have the Crystal Frolics. Queen Heather Willie, Princess Allison Honus, Princess Mesa Johnson. And they invite you to come out and join them for the Crystal Frolic Days, July 27th through the 30th. They have a parade on the 30th of July at 12:30 p.m. and a coronation following that.
And here we have the YMCA. Members of the YMCA riding bikes, walking, getting out, being active. That's one of the main goals of the YMCA facility, just to keep families together, active and moving, and they have a lot of fun events. They have that new playground that you can go and you actually don't have to be a member. It's a lot of fun for families to get out and do something together.
And they do. They have a nice facility that's been around now for many years, actually. It just seems like that thing was built, but it has been around for many people enjoying that.
It does.
And we just saw something on CR News, our current show. They have a YMCA day camp up in northern Anoka County. Coming up next, it's Cub Foods Riverdale. The Cub Foods Riverdale is an independently owned and operated grocery store. They're proud of their partnership they have with the city of Coon Rapids. Big bagfuls of goods.
All kinds of treats in there.
They're ready for their 4th of July celebration.
Picnics. Here we have the St. Francis royalty for Pioneer Days in the Park. Pioneer Days in the Park represents the historical park in the center of town. It's quite a tall float, isn't it, Steve?
It's really nice.
Princesses Bonnie Nelson, Sarah Rosler. Miss St. Francis is Amanda Beck. Little Miss is Amanda Athers. Miss Congeniality, Carrie Brendel.
Coming up next, we have someone dressed up. It's Raghead Sports. I'm not sure who they are, but they're in the parade.
Looks like they do embroidery and screen printing. If you need a shirt done, they could perhaps help you.
It's Raghead Sportswear. That wear adds a lot more to what they do.
That makes sense.
And actually,
they're passing out
they play
t-shirts.
That's pretty cool. Of course, I'm sure it has a big logo on the front that says Raghead. Good advertising tool for them. Northeast State Bank is following them. Northeast State Bank is an independently owned bank which has served the community since 1947. They have locations in Coon Rapids, Columbia Heights, and Minneapolis.
Here we have royalty from Hudson, Wisconsin, the Hudson Bell. The Hudson Bell is a detailed miniature paddle wheel boat representing the river town of Hudson, Wisconsin. During the 1850s and the 1860s, Hudson grew rapidly as a steamboat and lumber center. Today's sailboats, rather than steamboats, cruise the St. Croix River. That is a cool float.
It really is, and they're decked out red, white, and blue.
And genuine steam coming out of that. Look, a lot of detail, too.
I'm sure after this parade it'll be a beautiful night to be on one of those steamboats on the river.
Would be gorgeous.
Right at sunset. Coming up next, we have the van from Camellia Rose Care Center. They are a place for seniors, a nursing home, Camellia Club Adult Day Program, Meals on Wheels, and rehabilitation, serving Coon Rapids and the surrounding community since 1977. They have been around doing a lot of stuff for the community.
I think we're going to head down to Karen, who's going to talk to members of the Girl Scout troop, 2 male co-leaders. Karen.
And this is Mike and Kevin. They tell me they're the only 2 male co-leaders. Is that right?
I'm a leader.
You're a leader.
co-leader for Sand Creek.
Are you enjoying it?
Oh, loving it, loving it.
It's a great time, a lot of fun.
All right, and how many people in your group today?
I think we have about 45.
All right, we'll let you catch up to them. Thank you so much. Not something you see every day. Thanks, fellas. Back up to you two.
That's great. Get dad involved. Doesn't have to be just mom. It's great to see that.
No, it is really great to see.
The Girl Scouts are made up of students from Eisenhower Elementary, Epiphany, Hamilton, Sand Creek, and Soderberg.
Unfortunately, some of these people with their suits on, they got to wear long pants, and they got their uniform and costume, and it'd probably be a lot nicer to wear shorts, short-sleeve shirts, and all sorts of stuff. But it is a beautiful night out here in Coon Rapids on Northdale Boulevard for the 7th annual Coon Rapids 4th of July Parade. I'm Steve Erickson along with Stephanie Ring and the rest of the crew here at CTN, bringing you coverage of this parade. And so far, there has been a lot of interesting things in the parade.
All kinds of different groups represented, everything. We had the animal training, we have YMCA, we have the leaders of the community. A little bit of everything here, and it's great to see everybody involved in the parade. A lot of different groups.
There really is, and we still have some more things to come, so don't go away yet. Up next, it's the New Brighton Stock Days. It's their float. This is the New Brighton Stockyard Days. It's been a tradition for many years in New Brighton. It was established, in fact, in 1889. Although they no longer exist, they contribute to the history of the New Brighton community. The float carries the Stockyard Days theme with fence rails, saddles, and cowboy hats. A lot of detail that goes into that float right there. Almost looks like a Vikings float.
It does. Very bright purple.
Coming up next, we have Jerry Horn, who is a candidate for State Representative District 49B in Coon Rapids. He's lived in the city for 45 years, married to his wife Cindy for 24 years. They have 2 boys, Michael 20 and Ben 17. Jerry says he wants to work hard for tax reform, helping small business, work with our schools, and pro-life issues.
Now we have Miss Foley Royalty, excuse me. Foley Fun Days is a summer festival celebration, and you're seeing the royalty right here.
Coming up next, it should be Ideal Screen Printing. They have a Tahoe truck, which seems to match, pulling a trailer, which also seems to match. I believe this is Ideal Screen Printing. They're handing out candy, and they have T-shirts. They're a small screen printing, embroidery, and athletic apparel business.
Here we have representatives for Leo Foley for state senator.
Senator Foley is running for re-election to the state senate from District 49.
I hear another fire engine, Steve.
And it happens to be one.
This one's from Oak Grove, Tanker 3, a 3,300 gallon tank. Imagine filling that.
And that's good compared to 1,200, the past one.
You're right.
Yeah.
That's not even as bad.
We're learning our firefighter knowledge here tonight.
We are.
All we know is it's big, and it comes to the rescue when you need it most. So
exactly.
For that, I'm sure the people thank the firefighters in the community. Coming up next, we have Rockford River Days royalty. They invite you to come and enjoy the old-fashioned fun of summer at the annual Rockford River Days Festival. This year, August 11th through the 13th, Rockford's float and royalty are seen at many community festivals and have won awards for best community representation. On that float is Miss Rockford Carrie DeVort, Princesses Becky Schmidt and Brooke Huber, and Miss Congeniality, Rebecca Leonard. They would love to see you at Rockford River Days for some great food, fun, and entertainment. Kind of the theme to a lot of different festivals.
Definitely. It's all about having fun with your family and getting
We're
all
going to head
the
down to
nice
Karen
weather.
now, who's standing by. Karen?
Actually, I'm sitting. I finally got a ride in a car. This is Jeff. How you doing?
Great, having a great day.
Tell me about your mobile here.
This is a Reduce Mobile. We're out showing people that they need to reduce the amount of waste they're producing. And there's no such place as a way when you throw your garbage away, so we've got to make sure that we're reducing what we're producing.
All right, great vehicle. I got to hop out. Thanks a lot.
Hey, thanks for stopping by.
Enjoy the rest of the parade. Thank you. This is awesome. Back up to you guys.
All right, she finally got to sit down after all that work
Nice.
running up and down the parade lines.
Nice break, definitely, for Karen. You know, this says that Minnesotans throw away 6 pounds of garbage every day, 1 ton each year. That is a lot of garbage.
It's really hard. You know, you throw away 1, 2 things, it does add up over time. And of course, Coon Rapids does have a big recycling program. And Anoka County has gotten several awards for the recycling effort here of everyone in the community to get rid of their recycling goods.
And of course, that helps reduce some of that waste if we can be reusing.
Coming up next, we have the Anoka Hennepin Technical College, who just won a big fight to keep their doors open in jeopardy of being shut down by the Minnesota State Colleges and Universities system. But they will reopen this fall, and I believe Karen is standing by with someone from that. Karen?
I am. This is Mary Falk. You're going too fast for me, Mary. Look at me. I'm running here. Are you happy the school was safe?
Very happy.
What's the mood over there these days?
It's a lot brighter, a lot brighter. Everybody's very optimistic that everything's looking good. Our numbers are looking good for fall, and we've got a lot of good things happening.
All right, if anybody wants more information, they can just give the tech a call, right?
You bet. We've got open house and career night on July 20th at 6 o'clock. Come and have hot dogs, bring the kids. There's going to be games for the kids and all kinds of fun stuff.
Okay, thank you, ladies. Enjoy the rest of the parade. Back up to you two.
And the Anoka Hennepin Technical College has just named a new acting president, Ann Wyant. And as you heard, they are going to stay open, so they will be open full-fledged in the fall, so we can attend career night in July.
Here we have the Accordion Fun Club. They're a group of enthusiastic amateur musicians from the north suburban area. Steve, they perform at all kinds of different senior citizen events at no charge. They have members of all ages in their group.
Lots of good music tonight. Coming up next, as you look on your screen there, it's Jerry Newton, who is currently Council Member Ward 2 in Coon Rapids. He is running for State Representative District 49A, representing Anoka and half of Coon Rapids. He says if you're fishing for a leader, vote for Jerry Newton on Tuesday, November 7th. And of course, I guess fishing is appropriate here for the 4th of July weekend, because I'm sure there'll be a lot of people sitting out on their boats over the long holiday weekend.
A lot of people going up to the cabin. You can tell when you leave town.
And it looks like they are ready. I don't know who they're going to vote for. I think they're a little confused. They might have some choices to decide when they get home tonight.
It's good to weigh all the options, you know.
Yeah. What do? Just like leave those on and then just like take one away a week? Whatever's left.
Sure.
You just vote. Coming up next, it's the Buffalo Days Royalty. Hope you're not royaltied out yet, because there are plenty more to come. Their community celebration is June 11th through the 18th, so that has passed. They've crowned a new royalty already, and as you can see, they're riding on that float. That is Miss Buffalo. And they too have that purple Vikings color.
They do have that color. It's a good bright color for floats. Must be why so many use it.
Yeah, because it would get kind of boring if all of them use red, white, and blue. Of course, that is patriotic, but you do need a little bit of variety.
Got to mix it up a little bit.
Up next, it's the Walker Plaza van. Walker Plaza is a senior retirement living downtown Anoka. They have studio, 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, and handicap-accessible apartments. You can live independent or get services in your apartment from 14 private care suites for assisted living. Also has a 24-hour care home, meal service, security, transportation, activities, all sorts of stuff. Walker Plaza in Anoka.
Here we have royalty members from the North Hudson Pepper Festival. The festival celebrates its strong Italian heritage with a 3-day festival and raises money for the community. It began back in the 1940s to raise money to build an elementary school and was put on by a group of neighbors. The school was built and the festival just grew from there.
Red and green, another variety of color here. Purple, red, green, blue, white. Pretty much every color of the rainbow here tonight.
They've won several awards with this float too. You can see why. It's kind of unique. All the peppers.
Coming up next, we have the Top Chops Marching Band. Let's take a listen.
Hi, Greg. How you doing?
Very good, thanks. Yourself?
Turn this way for me, would you please? You guys having a good time today?
Yes, we are.
All right. Who's this wild man?
This is Sam over here.
I see you had about 20 people in your group. You must do a lot of parades.
We do quite a few. We do about 20 parades per year. We do about between 6 and 8 competition shows as well, field shows.
All right. These guys want to get on camera. Give them a good close-up. Okay.
They want their 15 seconds of fame, so you know they'll probably never get any other way, so you might as well give it to them now.
Thank you so much. Great job. Enjoy the rest of the parade. Back up to you guys.
All right, thanks, Karen. A wild crowd there, but they do a marvelous job when they're performing.
They do. They're not shy at all, though.
No.
Camera, no problem. We like people like that. Don't be scared of the camera.
No. Coming up next, we have Representative Jim Abler and his entourage. They have about 20 to 50 walkers helping them out here tonight. I'm sure they're along the various parts of the player route, handing out stickers and other informational items on Abler. And behind him, we have Peterson, who apparently is also running for a state representative. It is Greg Peterson, I'm being told. A neat little car with a little elephant on front.
Looks like fun.
Guess what? It's time to start thinking Halloween.
Halloween. Already? I guess it's not that far off when you think about it. The Halloween capital of the world, Anoka, and a beautiful float here.
And they're celebrating their 80th year this season, I understand.
Wow.
Of course, the big parade on Saturday, October 28th. That is a big ordeal. That's like a 2-3 hour long parade. I'd have to say that's one of the bigger parades here in the Twin Cities area, and probably most of Minnesota. They do a fantastic job with that every year, and I'm sure it has all that planning early on helps.
They probably start planning right after the one parade ends, and they just keep going year round.
That's right.
Here we have the Old Country Buffet, and is that their mascot, Steve? It kind of looks like the bee from the Cheerios.
Didn't know you ordered dinner for us. That was really nice.
Wow.
Maybe it was someone else?
It might have been somebody else. I'm not sure.
So it's like the bee their mascot? Is that what you were
He
wondering?
looks like the Honey Nut Cheerios, the little bee on the commercial.
Does Old Country Buffet have Honey Nut Cheerios?
I'm not sure.
We got more royalty coming up from Columbia Heights. Miss Columbia Heights Michelle Chan, Princess Tara Peterson, Princess Kelly Huber, Junior Queen Lauren Myers, Junior Commodore Mickey Killingham, Junior Princess Amanda Lee, and Junior Vice Commodore Ryan Habiger are all on that. Columbia Heights has their event in June. It's their 66th anniversary of their celebration this year.
They too have won several awards with this float. 6 awards this year so far. There's another parade goer who was attacked by the Vulcans.
Yes, we're going to head down to Karen now, who's standing by with some of the spectators on the sidelines. Karen.
I am, and this is Dawn Stewart. Now, I know you have big plans for the 4th of July. Tell us what they are.
Always got to go to the Sand Creek festivities and, of course, the fireworks.
Right, there you have it. Coon Rapids is the place to be on the 4th of July.
Absolutely. You're welcome.
Back up to you guys.
A testament that those fireworks are really spectacular.
Definitely. Lots of people will be there, I'm sure.
Coming up next, we have Bill Luther, who is a congressperson. Served the South District of Minnesota since 1994. He's honored to be in the beautiful city of Coon Rapids to celebrate the 4th of July. And you couldn't have asked for more beautiful weather for this parade.
We couldn't. I think last year it was really nice too. It must be just great timing. The weather is just cooperating.
And you know the bugs aren't even biting tonight. I haven't felt one yet.
I haven't either. Maybe it's a little bit of breeze, sun is still out, good combination, keeps the bugs away.
Sure helps. Sounds like we got a little oldies music going on here.
Get you in the mood for the car show tomorrow. 50s, 60s.
Jerry Janens for U.S. Senate candidate is coming up next. I believe Janich was endorsed by his party in the past couple of weeks. And right behind that, we have representatives for Luann Koskinen, who is running for state representative, I believe. Luann has her crew of volunteers along with her tonight, handing out stuff on the parade route.
Coming up behind the Koskinen group is the band for the Cardiac Center's wellness program. This van travels around to provide free screening of cholesterol and glucose to the community. It was donated to Mercy and Unity Hospitals so they could go out in the community and help people.
More people getting into the music here, because coming up next we have members from the Chopstick Band. This is the other part of the Tops Chops. It's Top Chops and Chopstick. This is the Chopsticks Band coming up. And they are the drummer unit, I guess you could
And
call
they're
them.
a lot of fun. They will come right up to the camera, I bet you anything.
Yeah, and the one thing about this is they're not We're going to head down to Karen now. Karen?
Just wanted to take a moment to introduce everybody to John McCabe. He was part of the group that just got back from Kosovo. How was it?
Pretty good.
When you see a celebration like this and just returning from Kosovo, how does it make you feel?
Proud. Pretty good.
And you come to the parade every year, don't you?
Yeah, last 4 or 5 years.
Well, thanks a lot. Nice meeting you. Back up to you guys.
All right, thanks, Karen. And this is the Chopsticks Band, and they do have a lot of fun. It's not just playing the music, but they really get involved in what they do out here, and I think that's what makes it more interesting to watch.
They do, and they get the crowd involved too. They really get the crowd going and excited.
We're going to take a listen to the Chopstick Band. All right, that was a great job by that group. And they do go down to the park, I know, a lot of times after the parade, and they play for the crowd down there, so they kind of get a second dose of the Chopstick Band.
Here we have the Monticello Royalty coming up.
Miss Monticello, Christina Mork, Princesses Tiffany Lindquist, Princess Nikki Ross, and Miss Congeniality, Kristen Faltersack are on Monticello's float, which has a river theme. Their celebration is held July 8th through the 9th, so you haven't missed that one yet. You can still check that out. Kind of need to have a log of all the different celebrations in Minnesota this time of year so you can plan your weekends accordingly.
You do.
This guy looks familiar. It's the Grimace from McDonald's.
The Grimace. I forgot the name.
How could you forget stuff?
Jeez. I forgot.
That big purple guy, you just forget.
You can't forget him. You just can't. Look at the kids love him. They're hugging him.
Of course, the Big McBurger.
Looks like they're passing out some fun little toys, too. Maybe they have some, they look like little Frisbees.
I'm sure anything the crowd will take, as long as it's free.
Free stuff.
Somebody got us a Frisbee. You'll have to save that for us. Thanks. We actually got some candy earlier. Someone threw some Tootsie Rolls up here.
Yeah.
Must have saw we were starving. Coming up next, we have Scott Schulte, who is running for council member at large. Coming up next, it's Eric Overby Drywall. Big flatbed truck. And right behind that, it's the Coon Rapids Park and Recreation Commission unit. Several of the parks commissioners are on board that, along with some of their family, throwing out candy to the crowd. Of course, I think we say it every year, but there are a lot of parks in the city, and a lot of people really take to that for enjoyment. Nights you drive by a lot of the parks in the city, they are filled with people playing on the playgrounds, enjoying different outside outdoor activities during the summer. And that Parks Department and their commission really keeps up to date on all that equipment, making sure everything is safe and available for the public.
They do a great job of keeping the parks nice for everyone to enjoy.
Tootsie Rolls is apparently the favorite treat here for handing out to the public.
We've gotten a few thrown up here. I love Tootsie Rolls.
Semstone is coming up next. And people are getting wet down there, apparently. It's not that warm for water. But the kids look like they're having fun, nonetheless.
They love it.
Coming up next, it's Mike Cerisi for U.S. Senate, DFL candidate. I think that is one of our final politicians in the parade, and we are coming down to our very final units here. I understand Karen Savanich is standing down with the Anoka County Rangers Mounted Patrol. Karen?
I am. We got Jackie's here. Jessica's on the other horse. You guys having fun today?
Oh yeah, definitely. This is a lot of fun with the crowds and all the people. Get to see a lot of them down at the Coon Rapids Dam on Thursdays for the concerts also.
You're part of the Mounted Patrol. I suppose you'll really like that.
Oh yep, been around horses all my life, so this is a blast. Being able to do law enforcement and horses at the same time. It's fun.
Introduce your horse for me.
This is Mandy. She's about 19 years old. She's a quarter horse. She's been doing this for about 6 years. And that's Rapper. He's 17, also a quarter horse. Same amount of time.
All right. Thank you, ladies. Enjoy the rest of the parade. Back up to you guys.
All right. Thanks, Karen. And, of course, those Mounted Patrols do a lot of good in our parks, keeping things safe down there and helping visitors at the various Anoka County parks.
And they're doing a great job in the parade.
Heading
I'm
off into
surprised
the
they're not
sunset.
spooked by all the noise and the sirens, but they...
No, they are relatively,
do really
relatively calm. And we have the clean sweep following the Mounted Patrol. They are all ready for the end of the parade, and of course they're the ones that get to pick up from the parade and all the stuff left behind from the people on the sidelines. And I don't think anybody could have asked for better weather for this. I think we've really lucked out tonight, and it didn't rain. I know there was some rain in the forecast, but Mother Nature came through, and everything went well for this parade.
Which is wonderful. I think they're saying some isolated thunderstorms maybe this weekend, but hopefully everything will hold out for the festival and the carnival. Nothing will, you know, be damaged by any thunderstorms. We will hope for the best.
It should be a beautiful weekend, and of course a lot of people will head out and do various family activities this weekend. And of course many people headed out of town, I'm sure, up to the lakes and up to the cabins. And the next thing to look forward to, I guess, is the fireworks from all these celebrations here in the city and all over the metro area. We're going to head down to Karen now, who's standing by for some final comments. Karen, what do you think of this year's parade?
Oh, it's been a wonderful time, and this young fella, Dustin, he wanted to tell you what a great time he had too, right?
It was an awesome time today. I like getting all the candy off the street. It was fun.
All right, and everybody has to come out next year to enjoy the fun. If you can just pan off to my right there, see that big line of traffic? Those people want to head down to the park and have some more fun. That'll do it from down here. Back up to you guys.
It looks like we're going to be finding another way out of our site here. You can see them right behind us heading down. Of course, they have 4 units to keep traffic from getting past the park before the parade does, and that is heading back into the park. And down at Sand Creek, I'm sure lots of food, lots of entertainment this weekend. Should be a good time, and I'm sure they're expecting a lot of people for the event.
Yes, there will be a lot of people. And a big thank you to everybody who puts in all the work to get all the floats, get everybody organized. It does take a lot of work and a lot of planning, and they did a great job. Everything looked wonderful.
Everything does go off without a hitch, and I think this year there was several more units than there has been in previous parades. It seems like this parade was about an hour and a half, which usually it's right around an hour, so more units, some new units this year that I noticed in the parade.
Different communities, too, I think, are getting involved and going to additional parades, and we're very grateful that they could come to our parade, too.
And it all just depends upon what everything else they have on their schedule. As we said, there are so many other community celebrations this time of the year that you probably can't make them all. You do need to prioritize and pick and choose which ones you go to.
Definitely, but it was a great night.
Well, it's been fun again for another parade, the 7th annual Coon Rapids 4th of July parade. For Stephanie Ring, I'm Steve Erickson. For Karen Savanis and all of us here at CTN Channel 15, thanks for watching. Have a very safe 4th of July holiday weekend, and we'll see you back here again next time